So this is my CB3 Accord. I believe they're called a CB7 in the US and other places. I've had it for about 4 years, a little over 4 years. It's I don't know if it's true, but it's supposed to be one of only like 4, 5 in Ireland that actually like run and drive and are registered or at least registerable. It's essentially all original to a degree. Like they have obviously aftermarket steering wheel and retrimmed the roof lining and so on, but it's gotten a hell of a lot of work done to it. It's been essentially down to as good as a bare shell. It had a lot of rust when I bought it, typical of cars here. It was about a year to the point where the rust repair was done, and the car was painted. It was originally kind of like a beige champagne kind of color, I guess, and it got painted. That's a Ford, I can't remember, it's either frozen white or frost white is the color. That took about a year, maybe a year and a half, to the point where it was like I could get it registered and NCT it, and drive it around with any great ease. I haven't done a whole lot more with it since then. It's kind of been in this state for 2.5 years maybe, with the only exception being the SSR wheels. They're 14 by, I think it's 7.5 if I remember correctly. They're really nice fit on the front. The back pokes out a bit more than I would like, but I have adjustable camber arms to get in at some point. So the idea today, I've kind of done everything that I've ever wanted to do with it, except for like ride height wise is the only thing I'm kind of go back and forth with. I think it sits really low already. Like you can see, there's maybe, I don't know, a couple of inches there, and at the front it's really low, which I really like the look of. Like the wing to the wheel, it's still a massive gap. When I had the 17s, I had work VSXXs on it. Well, I still have them, just I prefer the look of these. The clearance was a lot tighter, it looked a bit nicer, but the ride height was a bit high for what I would like. So I've decided, well, I haven't decided, it's been decided and purchased. I've bought an Airlift 3-piece system for it. So I'm hoping to have that in the next, maybe, I ordered it about 2 weeks ago, so hopefully inside the next 2 weeks, give or take. So what I should have done about 3 weeks ago before I ordered it was stripped out the interior and the carpet and so on, because I want to run everything as tidily and keep it pretty close to OEM. Like, I don't really want it to be an obvious setup that it's in the car. So what I'm going to do today is strip everything out of the boot. I'm going to strip out all the interior, or well, not all the interior, but I'll strip out like the middle center console. I'll strip out the seats, the back seats, the carpet, these little side panels here and stuff, just so I have less stuff in the way for when I'm wiring the system and for when I'm plumbing lines and so on. From what I've read and kind of done some research on YouTube, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of instructional stuff or videos on how to fit an air ride system into this car in particular, or if there is, I didn't find it. So I'm hoping to kind of make a little series, probably nothing too crazy, probably 50% video, 50% pictures, of at least how I did it, because I think technically and legally you're not allowed to have an air ride system in your car in Ireland. Or if you do, you need to get an engineer's report, which from what I heard is pretty difficult to get. But so with that in mind, I want to be able to pull the system out if I can, for the test for the NCT, so it'd be just less hassle, I guess. So what I'm going to do today, as I said, strip out the interior, probably make a little time lapse, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so the boot is all stripped out. It's very straightforward. Just again, with this being such a rare car over here, I don't like to be pulling and dragging at stuff just in case it fucks any of it up and stuff gets broken, stuff that's hard to replace or whatever. But while it's out, I'll show you some of the repairs that was done. You can see just along here, quite a bit of that seam was rusty. The same just up there, you can see a little plate fit in right there, and the same in this corner. It's fine, that, like, I mean, it's just what's there is only small surface rust, not a big deal, but there was, you could fit 2 or 3 fingers down through there. You can see where it's a little kind of lumpy and bumpy and where there's a little bit of sealer still. Another massive repair right there. We didn't discover that till like 2 years later, when it started to not leak as such, but just, I can't remember how we noticed it, to be honest. Maybe it was an NCT tester that noticed it, but that's all fine. A little bit of surface rust and stuff there, but nothing to really worry about. A lot of seam sealer thrown in those corners because the as common enough with these, the lights were leaking, or I thought it was the lights leaking, so I made new foam gaskets and so on there, but it seems okay since hasn't been leaking too much. There's wet patch there, but that's just dripping from the boot lid. I have about 2 bags worth of, or 2 packets worth of seam sealer thrown in there because there was a lot of water getting in there. I didn't discover any of that until it was already painted, so I didn't want to go chopping it up and burning the fresh paint and so on, but that's been fine since. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. The back seats are pulled out again, it's straightforward. Oh, there was another interesting repair done in the back seat. Let's see, right here, just where the, I guess where the floor or the seat, sorry, starts to curve up. That was, as you can see, the size of the patch that's put in it was pretty big. And the same in the other corner, not as bad. You can see a patch just there, and another patch here. That's another patch that was right above the fuel tank, so the tank had to come out for that. But yeah, so it's at least the back out. So we'll keep going and check out the front seats, the console and the carpet. So interior is all out, everything's out. The boot is empty, back seats are gone, carpet, front seats, all the side panels, everything, and it's all in as good a condition as I suppose when we first went through and tidied everything up. The light's not great now because I'm facing towards the sun, so, but the only bit of kind of shitty area is just up there underneath that kind of, I don't know what you call it, like a floor mat or rubber mat or something, but even that's not bad. It's only like, it's 30 years of surface rust, it's fine. So I'll put a bit of a heater in the car and try and dry it out, then a little bit of primer over it or something, it'll be fine. That side is perfect. All down here from when I originally painted it, it's all fine. It's exactly as I would expect, I guess. So that's pretty much all I can do for the time being until the actual kit arrives. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I'd say. As I suspected, there's plenty of nice space there to run the wires, or the wires, well, wiring as well on this side, I guess, but the air lines up, and I'll find a way out either into the engine bay or out into the, maybe behind the wing and out into the wheel well or something. Find something up there. There's a couple of little grommets that I've seen already that might be suitable, like that one there beside where everything's earthed. But we'll see in a couple of weeks now when the kit arrives. I wish I had the kit right here now, I could keep going, but shit happens, I guess. That's about it. I guess there'll be another update when the kit arrives. But yeah, I'm pleased to see how well, nothing has changed underneath, like rust wise, of course, obviously. Sure, what else would change? But I'll give it a good clean up, maybe even paint it again. I'm kind of thinking of taking this as a chance to redo, not the whole car, but you know, a lot of it. Maybe change the roof lining again, because the reason it's done, the car has the brown and beige interior, but the roof lining is, as you can see, a couple of shades of grey, the kind of checkered pattern, because initially the plan was to paint the car the same kind of, I think it's called moonstone silver or something like that you see on S2000s, but I might see if I can find a similar material in a brown and beige pattern, because it's a bit of a pain to get all these panels off, but I figure while I've gone this far, for the sake of another day or so to get it down, glue it, so on. We'll see how it goes, but hopefully, yeah, another update in about 2 weeks, I think.